I think more and more guys have to really take an in-depth look on what basketball truly is. And it ain't just about having a bag. It ain't just about having a 46-inch vertical and all that. How basketball at an optimal level to where I can affect winning
Yes.
and help an NBA team, EuroLeague team, an NCAA team win basketball
Right.
games. The more opportunities you have to show self, the more opportunities you will be giving for in the
Yes.
future. But if you can't even get to these opportunities because you don't even have the in-depth look on
True.
basketball, where are you going? You're nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So yes, talent is the base point. But after that, what is going to get you on? And what gets you over the hump is how you carry yourself.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, near or far. Welcome back to another episode of the Coach D podcast, where today's guest is the one and only Jeffrey Brooks Jr., a Penn State alum and an American Italian professional forward with a decorated career across Europe. He's competed at the highest level in Italy with clubs like Olimpia Milan and Trieste. He's won multiple domestic titles and cups, captured a Euro Cup championship, and represented Italy on the international stage at the FIBA World Championship. In this episode, we're going to dive deep into his approach to the game, what it really takes for forward and even centers to make an impact at the pro level, the unseen grind of a long European career, and the lessons learned from competing under pressure across different cultures. So, listeners, it is an honor and a privilege. Give a warm welcome to the one and only Jeffrey Brooks Jr., man. Appreciate
Yeah, this is dope, man. Really have a opportunity like this to share some light on this side of professional basketball. It's always a good thing. Always a good thing.
Right, right. And just before we even start about your decorated career so far, man, yeah, how was your physical and how was your mental?
It's a good question. I was injured once, had a problem with my heel, and man, when you're not able to play,
Yeah,
competitors know it's hard to adjust to not playing for a while and things like that. But once I got back on the floor, you know, breath of fresh air, back with on the
yeah,
floor, back with my teammates, back into the game. So now I'm great. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we all have
right,
the dings and the aches and things like that because you're never
yeah,
100% when you're doing this the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because you're sacrificing your
right,
body, to make plays, to make winning plays, and that's how it goes. But I feel good. Don't get me wrong. Mentally,
right.
I'm good. I'm home with my
Nice.
family. You know what I'm saying? We have another game on Sunday against Treviso, which is kind of like a derby for us here in Trieste.
Yeah,
Um, and I'm blessed. I'm
right,
playing at a high level. You know what I'm saying? At 36 years old, what is there to complain about?
right,
You know what I'm saying? So
right,
I'm good. Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah, many people don't ask those questions. I'm good. Appreciate
right.
it.
No, man, absolutely. And honestly, I think it's important. And even just kind of staying on that with this regards to us learning your introduction to the game, what part of your
Mhm.
childhood do we need to understand to truly understand the player you are today?
Oh, man. Damn, you got some good questions. That's in depth. That's a good
Thank you,
question.
man. Thank you.
I have to be honest. For me, it's actually something I talk about with my son and even my wife a lot. Is that I never really had any other things introduced to me but the game.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball has been a part of me since since I started walking. Basketball
Yeah.
was it. I'm 36 now. I've been around basketball for at least 34 years. I mean that seriously. I guess all I really knew. And that helped build me into the player I am today. I know the game inside and out. You know what I'm saying? Hell, sometimes, man, there's plays that happen on the floor. I know it's about to happen 2 plays before it happens.
Wow.
So, like, I think it's just of how much basketball has been incorporated into my life. I think that's helped me to be the player I am today, and it's helped me to continue to be an effective player. Here towards the later stage of my career. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. When you start early, it it just becomes innate, and now I think that's where I am today. Like basketball's been there
Right.
forever, and I hope it's that way for the rest of my
Yes,
life.
absolutely. Absolutely. And just
Hmm.
even on that, like before we even speak about you being the high level athlete that you are, I feel like this happens for every
Hmm.
single athlete, no matter what sport you play, where it's the game starts to slow down or you read the help defense, you already know this rotation is going to happen, so you kick it out to the shooter at the corner three, like that moment where
Hmm.
all the
Hmm.
hard work, watching film, dedicating time, attention,
Yes.
energy to the game, it really starts to pay off
Hmm.
in that moment. So I want to ask you,
Yes, sir.
Jeffrey, like when was that moment for you when you realized that you was nice at basketball?
Um, that's a very interesting question. I think that all comes down to confidence.
Mm,
Um, I kind of struggled with that throughout my life because of the idea of you don't really know until you know. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? So like it really hit me when I was about 16. And I think you get that we all have self-confidence, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think once you start to hear it and see the energy you're getting from other people when they watch you play, when they watch you train, or whatever the case may be, I think that's when it all started for me. And that happened around like 16. Because I'm 6'8" now, 6'8", 6'9". I tell everybody 6'9". But I was growing up as a point guard, and that year, junior year, I grew 5 inches over the summer.
Wow.
So I went from the size of a point guard, but I was still one of the taller guys on my the high school team I was on in Shawnee High. So I was playing like center, to now I'm a three man with guys who are a little bit, around my
Yeah.
size, but I have handle, I can pass, I can shoot. So now I'm out on the perimeter and I'm getting guarded by guys 6'1", 6'2", but then I got big guys trying to guard me and they not used to guarding guys who can handle the ball. And this is back in, 2005, 2006,
Wow.
where bigs with handle and a shot was not really a thing. That's when I kind of knew, like, okay, it's different now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm bigger than everybody, but I actually got more skill than a lot of guys who are actually smaller than me. So when I was around 16, that's when it actually started to make sense.
Right.
Like, I can really do this and maybe do this on a high level, meaning college. Didn't think about pro really. That's the dream. But I was thinking more so college, getting a scholarship so I could get a degree and things like that.
Right. And just you even mentioned it
Hmm.
there, like Penn State, and I'm starting to have this
Hmm.
conversation more with high level pros like yourself, which I think is so important when a young player is making that choice to even before they get to the pros, what college or program do I want to buy into? I just don't want to play for a team. Yes, if they got championships, that's great, but I want a program that's gonna invest in me as the person first, then the player second. So for yourself, Jeffrey, why was Penn State the right fit for you at the time? And what did college basketball teach you that still shows up in your pro career?
I think it's what you said to break that all down. It was that they invested time into me and also
Okay.
showed me that they were there for me. So when I blew up my senior year. So that was my junior, senior year going to from the AAU program. AAU was different then. So I blew up that summer. I had some days I would come into the gym during the preseason of high school workouts or whatever. There would be 30 coaches in the stands
Wow.
from Pac-10, Big Ten, Big East, SEC, Mountain West, just except for like Duke, North Carolina, teams like that. Everybody was there.
Wow.
Penn State was there every chance they had an opportunity to be there, they were there. From Ed DeChellis to
Wow.
Kirk Conansky to Hillary Scott to Dan Arrow, somebody was there every opportunity they had to come and watch me work
Wow.
out, come watch me practice. And that just meant a lot to me. So that meant that like they were dedicated to not only me, the player, but they were dedicated to having a person like me be a part of their program and a part of their school. So that's why I chose Penn State. And then I just learned more so than not the perseverance you have to have if you want to do this or anything at a high level. Because it's not
Yeah.
easy. Some
True.
guys can step into college and immediately like things go well. It didn't go well for me right away. Like I had to put on a lot of weight. I had to get used to being a man. Like I was immature as far as the idea of like taking care of, setting an alarm, being Your
Yeah.
mama ain't waking you up. Like, you got to do it. All these things while I was at Penn, and they gave me time. You know what I'm saying? They gave me time to develop not only as a player, but as a person as well. And then it all started to take shape my junior year. And some schools, especially today, do that.
Yeah.
You
That's
know, you get
real.
1, maybe 2 years. If things ain't going well, on to the next. They gave me, like, like a series to figure it out. And in senior year, I was like one of the best players in the conference of the Big Ten. We ended up going to the conference championship. And I played with a guy named Taylor Battle, who was one of the best players to
Wow.
ever play in that
Wow.
conference. But I was like his Robin to his Batman. He was amazing. That was what we needed a long time ago. And I finally was able to provide that, me being Jeff Brooks, for our team my senior year. And we went to the NCAA tournament. We ended up losing first round, but it all came into fruition for me junior year. Junior year started to make sense. Things started sitting well, and I started to understand, that how good I could be, go out there and make the right play, go out there
Mm,
and be you. And here I am today.
right.
Yeah, man, it was a great experience.
What keeps you?
Great
Because
experience.
like the everyone knows the college level is extremely high, and I think
Hmm.
there's the highlights of them making that game-winning shot, but I think people kind of forget the unseen grind, the times when you're making the same mistake, and the coach is getting on you, or even you
Hmm.
just having to balance not just you being the college athlete, but you being the student athlete, as well, and really just having
Hmm.
to figure things out. So when you said there, Jeffrey, that the moment started to click, what kept you on course? Because it could have been easy to be like, you know what, I don't know if I can even compete at this level. I had a bad practice, I blew that defensive assignment during the game, even though
Hmm.
coach went over the film with me. Like what kept you so locked in during those times where, most players would have just opted out?
I think for me, it was a multitude of things. Like, first of all, you got to understand yourself. You got to understand that nobody's going to do it for
Yeah.
you. If you want to do something, if you want to make it somewhere, that's the first step. You're the one who's going to have to do it. And there's no excuses. Like, a lot of people, come up with excuses every day. And don't get me wrong, I'm not LeBron. I'm not the most successful person on the planet, but I have a wonderful life, and I've gotten her off of the hard work, the perseverance, the attention to detail, but also just making steps towards what I want. The second part is also being around good people. And honestly, man, sometimes that's being blessed, or some people like to call it luck. Because I had a coach, and I'll never forget this. It happened in 2 instances. One time, he kept yelling at me, and he wouldn't really yell at this other player who was younger at the time. And remember, it was a junior year. It was coming up. And I just asked him one time, like, man, like, how come you always yelling at me, screaming at me? But I'm the older player, and like, you don't really yell at him. Like, we in the same spot. Like, why is it me? He's like, well, if I yell at you, I know it's gonna bring something out of you.
Mm,
If I yell at him, he's gonna break down.
got you.
I can't do that with him. Then also, he's like, I'm only giving you what I feel like you can take to the point where you're going to use this to bring out more positivity. He's going to bring out negativity. So I got to coach him a different way than you. And remember, Jeff, what you just said, you're older. So I'm
Yes.
expecting more from you because you've been hurt. You know how things go. You know the defense. You know the plays. You know what I'm saying? He's still learning. You've been here. So your leash is not going to be longer than his if you're making the same mistakes that he's
Right.
making. And he's like 18, you're 20. I was like, damn, that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Got you.
Yeah.
It clicked like that. Like, bro, that's some grown man. That's a
For
grown
real.
man's situation right
Yeah.
there. Then the second part of that was, and this was shorter, he just told me, when I stop yelling at you, that's when you should be worried. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, because that means I don't care anymore. That means I'm going on to the next. That means that I'm giving more attention to someone else.
Mm,
What I see in you, I don't see in other players here. What I see in you, your potential, your talent, I don't see elsewhere here. You're the guy. that can make all of this work if you just do what you need to do to bring us to where we need to be.
Right.
And that's all on you, Jeff. And
Yeah.
again, you know what I'm saying? So when you have people lay it out for you with that real, you know what I'm saying, that real, give you exactly what you need to hear and not sugarcoat
Yep.
it, not try to put it with ponies and roses so where you feel good. No, hit you right in your mental. So what is your next step? What are you gonna do? And I feel like that's what has led me to understand the game, but also understand people more
Yes.
because communication and understanding is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not only just about basketball, it's about life. So having people like that in my life has definitely also helped me along the path as well. So it's,
Right.
you gotta make the steps, you gotta understand what you want to do and having good people around you.
Right. Right. Well said, man. Honestly, and appreciate you sharing that, man. And just even on that, Jeff, like I'm always curious to know because I mean, me being born and raised in London and in Europe, we're very familiar with the
Hmm.
European system. You know, the basketball Champions League,
Hmm.
Olympics, and just even some of the domestic leagues and the teams. We know what the pro level is
Hmm.
like, and I'm always
Hmm.
curious. When it comes to a pro, especially that came from the US, where you might not know what the pro level is like outside of the US. It just might be due to lack of exposure or something else. But making that transition from, you know, college level to the program over in Europe, like what were some of the biggest shocks when you first made that transition from the NCAA basketball to playing professionally in
Hmm.
Europe?
Well, the first, I got like two
I love
stories
it.
of
I
that.
love
And
it.
it all happened very early in my career. My first story was when I first got off the plane to Yazi,
Yeah.
Italy. I was playing in the second league of Italy. That was my first year overseas. And from coming from college, I only had a week. I signed the contract, I graduated, and in a week, I was on the plane
Wow.
here to Italy in Yazi. And as soon as I got off the plane, it was just, I swear, man, it was like I was on another planet.
Yeah.
It was just, I swear, I didn't feel like I was on Earth anymore, just because of everything that was going on was completely the opposite of what was going on where I was from. Being a kid coming from the urban area, you know, the city area, Louisville, Kentucky, to moving to Yazi, which is like a little town in Italy. Nobody really speaks English, and you're at dinner for 3, 4 hours, just 30 minutes and eat and go. Like,
Mm,
nah, it's all different. You know what I'm saying? Then the time change. You know what I'm saying? Jet lag was. That's when I realized jet lag was a real thing.
yeah.
Like, it was a lot of things where I couldn't sleep, I couldn't really eat. Like, then I was feeling homesick. So, like,
Wow.
honestly, bro, that was might have been one of the hardest months of my life. The first month there,
Wow.
it got so hard where uh the coach had to tell the players like, "Yo, man, you get Jeff out of his apartment. Take him out. Take him dinner. Take him to a lounge. I don't care what you do, but this kid has to understand like we're here for him.
Yes.
We want him here. We want to have a good experience here." Man, we went to dinner. We went out. We got some drinks. Had a good time. And like literally after that, I understood that these guys wanted me to be a part of the group. Because I kind of felt like you know, hesitant
Of
to
course.
step
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
culture at first. Man, 3 days later, we had a scrimmage. I'm talking about, bro, for 2 weeks, I couldn't even run up and down the floor.
Wow.
Like four up backs, I'm exhausted. Like just everything was just bad. Like it was a dark cloud. 3 days after they
Yeah.
took me out, we had a good time. Couple practices, bro. We had another scrimmage. I had 25 points, 15 rebounds, like 5 assists,
Oof.
and like the
Wow.
GM walked up to me and was like, he was like, yeah, he was like, "Oh, you good now, huh?" I'm like, "Man, I'm great." I was like, "'Cause I know," I was like, "I know you guys want me here,
Right.
and like I just needed some time to like figure it out one more time." Being blessed to have been around people who wanted me there, who wanted to see me succeed, not only for them but for myself. And then I actually got a little bit of background information months later because the captain of the team told me, he's like, "Hey man, like it's crazy to see like how you're playing, how good you feel because bro, like." another week, they were like saying like they didn't think you could make it. Like, they didn't
Wow.
understand what it was gonna take. Yeah, it was like they were thinking about like letting you go. And I'm just like, thank
Yeah.
God the boys took me out for dinner.
Yeah, right. For real.
Then actually the other story of that is literally the next year I signed with Cantu, which is in the north of Italy, by Milan, storied club, and we actually qualified to play in the EuroLeague that year. I had never heard of the EuroLeague, never heard of it. So, and what my story was kind of unique because I went from the second league to a EuroLeague team within a year.
Wow.
That really doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was just such a shock to me because of how important it was to play in the EuroLeague, and I never knew about it. Like, I swear, I had never heard about even the year I was playing with Yeezy or watched any EuroLeague basketball, none of that. I was just along for the ride. So, like, having the opportunity to play in the EuroLeague qualifying tournament, we won that. Then I started playing. We started playing in the group stages because back then it was a group stage.
Right.
Got to play against Fenerbahce, Panathinaikos,
Powerhouses, man. Wow.
Ljubljana, Kimki, and who's the other team? The other team was Real Madrid.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, bro,
Yeah. That's big time, man.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, oh, because I'm coming from the second league. Now I'm playing against guys who either are going to the NBA or played in the NBA or
Right.
some of the best talent in Europe. Nah, this is different.
Yeah.
That's when I knew I'm like, nah, dudes go where he can play. Like, this is not a game. This ain't no joke. And
Right.
like I had a pretty good year that first year trying to figure it all out, but that's when I knew like, nah, like this is a big deal. And like if I do this right, if I continue to work hard, if I continue to learn, I could be doing this for a long time. And of course, with God willing to stay healthy, I could be doing this for a long time. And here I am,
Right.
15 years in.
Wow. That's, man, hats off to you, man, because that just shows so much longevity, but also shout out to the coach who really, again, caring about the player, sorry, the person first, then the play,
Mm-hmm.
and that just unlocks all
Mm-hmm.
of your confidence, all of your abilities.
Yes.
Now you're able to contribute, but also you're able to adjust to a different country because that's something that I don't think people realize. It's an adjustment, and that's like an unseen
Mm-hmm.
grind of, sometimes you might be away from family, you miss some key events, and if you're in a country that doesn't speak the language, that can be a barrier at times, or take a minute to adjust, and just even
Mm-hmm.
on that,
Yeah,
even
man.
on the European level, I've kind of noticed like different leagues emphasize different things, like one team or one league might emphasize, fast break, transition, we want to get out and run.
Mm-hmm.
Another league might be very center or
Mm-hmm.
forward heavy. Another league might be, half court
Mm-hmm.
set, decoy sets, and inbound plays and things of that nature. So, I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
Europe being known for tactical basketball, how did that change the way you see
Yes.
and play the game?
Um, what I started to realize is that if you can utilize your athleticism but understand how to be effective on the floor within the sets, because at the end of the day, a lot of coaches here love sets. They still do. Like we're going towards more of a running gun, get out in transition, things like that. But sets are still huge, especially when it comes to serious basketball, like playoffs, cups, things like that. So understanding how they get open, watching your footwork, watching how to use a screen, watching how to set a screen, all these different things lead you down pathways of winning. And I really feel like that's what one of my main staple points of my career and who I am as a professional has been is winning
Yeah,
because it always leads you to good places.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And winning comes from being a good teammate, attention to detail, caring, not only caring about oh, I went 3 for 10 or I went 4 for 11. No, caring what the end result was. Because even when you go 4 for 11, but if you, like you said, paid attention to the details, stopped your guy 7 times from him going right when he likes to go right,
There we go.
that leads to your team winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So my whole thing is
yes,
about winning. And that's what I've learned from being in Europe, winning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's different levels to go to as far as teams and as far as leagues and all this and all that. But I'm here today, still 15 years in, because people see me and they resonate my name and my aura with winning.
Right.
I haven't won every single championship I've been a part of, but I've won quite a few in my career where I've been a part of great
Yeah.
programs with great players and everybody being very cognizant on attention to detail, attention to winning plays, and attention to sacrificing for the next guy so that we can all have the end result of what we want.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's what Europe is really predicated on. It's really predicated on every little cog making sure the engine is running towards the finish line, which is winning games and winning
Right.
cups.
Right. And just even
Hmm.
on that, from your opinion, Jeffrey, whether it's through, I mean, because you've
Hmm.
played from some for top programs, so from your perspective, what you've managed to observe from the coaches, the players, the teammates, practice, locker room energy, like what separates elite European clubs from the rest?
That's interesting. I mean, it's hard because actually I was just talking about this with my wife the other day. Like the idea, what people don't understand, like the NBA, those teams will always be there. Like it's so much money over there. It's not something they really need to worry about. You know what I'm saying? As far as the money and the business machine is going. So it's making so much money. Here in Europe is different. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? You might have a guy who owns a company that his dad built 40 years ago, but he was a big fan of this team and he bought the team, but then things might be changing within the business, what his dad built. So like sometimes, man, some of these clubs don't even they might not even be there the next year because of things that are going on behind the scenes that you don't really know. So the idea about
wow.
budget is big over here. And the people who put money into these things wanted to run well
Right.
because they understand
Right.
how important the money they're putting in is because it's not like in crazy abundance like as far as the NBA. The NBA is a business built to be exactly that, a business of
Right.
basketball.
Right.
Here, people play it's more off of the love and the extreme feel of that camaraderie of sport. So like the higher you go up, you know what I'm saying, the more money that these clubs have, but also how much important it is for them to continue to stay on this level as far as the idea of competing, what I'm saying, having good players, what I'm saying, having good locker rooms and having good situations to where they can stay on that
Right.
level. Because, you go from the Euro League to the Euro Cup to whatever you want to say, it starts to change a little bit. And everybody at the end of the day, every player is trying to get to that orange and black basketball, which is
Right.
there's levels
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. Talk
You know
about
what I'm
it.
saying? So I think at the end of the day, they carry with their prestige, with the name of being a EuroLeague club, which has more money, but also how they move, how they practice, how they play. It's all about one more time winning. It ain't about your stats. You know what I'm saying? If I got you and you was averaging 18 last year, okay, when you come here, you might average 8,
Yeah.
but I want you to defend, rebound, play defense, help us win. You know what I'm saying? And when you can stay on teams like that, you know what I'm saying, in these roles, you're going to be shifted through these different teams throughout your career. But like a lot of guys, man, if you just a one trick pony, all you can do is shoot, all you can do is score, and you can't really do anything else, you're going to stay on certain
Here we
levels.
go.
So those locker rooms try to stay away from guys like that. Those type of teams try to get guys who can do many different
Yes.
things to help their teams win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if not, they try to get someone who can take up for somebody else who doesn't maybe have as much as that, but they have a great idea to win and how to affect, basketball games. So I think it comes like I was saying, I think in a nutshell, it comes down to the budgets and which level you can get
Right.
to and which level these teams are
Right.
in. And when they are in certain levels, they know they are and they want to
Yeah.
stay. So they're going to get players that are going to help them stay in those
Right.
levels.
Right. And you just even mentioned it there, and it's honestly hats off to your approach to the game. I think personally is why you've been able to have such great longevity in this game, and even at this stage of your career, Jeffrey, like how do you personally define impact on the court?
That's a particular question. All right. Well, for me, I define it as how do your teammates look at you? So what I mean
Mm,
by that is like my teammates here, or for like the last 5, 6 years, because being one of the older players now, is that they see a guy that they know is going with everything he has to win a game. You know what I'm saying? Not only scoring a basket, but with his energy, with his
mm,
words, with his like you just it's that oomph. Like
yes,
he's
yeah,
out here doing whatever he can to help not only himself, but help me and all the rest of us win a game. So when you have that look of that respect, that's the word, that respect, I think that's what you want to have, not only when you're in your 15th year of your career. I think you want to have that after a couple years of being a
right,
pro. You want guys to look at you with that respect, that they know that you're doing everything in your power to be the best player, ultimately to be the best man out there on the floor
here we
to
go.
help your team win and to help yourself be, the best competitor that you can be. So like when you get that look of respect, where guys coming up to you, thanking you for your effort, chest bumping you, high fives, whatever the case may be. And then honestly, too, your home crowd, when your home crowd's going crazy for you because of the effort you're putting in,
Yeah,
you make a big shot, they're losing it, or you make a big stop
yeah,
and you look at the crowd and everybody's, gravitating towards you, your energy. That A word again is the youngins like to use, that aura. I think you feel like you gotten somewhere, and I think that
absolutely.
what makes the game so much more enjoyable. Because like
Yeah,
honestly, man, if you out there and one more time you averaging 15 points, but like your teammates ain't coming up to you, talking to you, you know what I'm saying, proud for you, you know what I'm saying, the crowd ain't really like going towards you and happy for you and happy for the team,
yeah,
and you really doing. I don't
true.
feel like you really having as much fun because you only get to do this for so long. So I feel like you should want to have so much spirit in this that these are the things you're going to be remembering
Right.
when you're done. It's the feeling, not just your stats. You know what I'm saying? Not just the amount of money you made, not just to say, yeah, bro, I play pro. Did you play pro? No, that feeling you got from being out on the
Yeah,
floor to make it to a realm that many millions of players do not make
true.
it to.
That's real.
Millions of players do not make it to being professional basketball players. So, and I that's what I take onto the floor with me. Not just for every game, for every practice, shit, for every shoot around. Excuse my language.
You
For
good?
every
You
shoot
good?
around. Yeah, it's a big deal. Respect for yourself, respect for your teammates, and respect for the game.
Right, right. And you just said it there, and I can only imagine the electricity through the arena when you make that big time three, or you get a steal, or you get a block, and the crowd. One thing I've learned over the years, and even just speaking with pros like yourself, there's nothing like playing for a crowd that really cares, and they reward you when
Hmm.
you put everything on the floor. Just to feel that crowd behind you must feel amazing. So for yourself, how have you adjusted to that type of crowd support, and if you can put it into words, whether it was in a tight game, like how does it feel when the crowd is like behind you and they're screaming you, and how do you stay composed and 10 toes down to the court and you don't get too hyped up or too distracted from the energy?
I think you have to stay within the moment. You have to
Mm,
remember why you're there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where your logic has to come in, to where you have to remember the game ain't over till it's over. You know what I'm
true.
saying? So even while the crowd's going wild, and especially like certain players have to understand, like you're an example. So for me, I'm never really too hyped. Maybe in one play I'm going crazy.
Mm,
To that play's over because it's on to the next play. I'm not really into the celebratory stages of the game until I know you're 15 points up and it's 10 seconds left, things like that.
right.
Because you never know in this game. You just never know. The game is not over until it's
True.
over. So I just try to stay within the moment. But I am a guy. It's not that I'm a showman because I don't like to show people up. I don't like, nah, that's not my style. But I'm a guy who likes to get the crowd involved because I really understand energy. I understand how much energy from the people can change the output from the players. You know what I'm saying? And you need the help
Yeah,
sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're playing in a game where just a shot ain't falling for not only for yourself or your best shooter on the team, but you're getting that energy from the crowd that helps you get that extra oomph on
yeah,
defense, helps you get that extra push in transition, helps you make that extra slide into a charge, things like that. So my biggest thing is getting the crowd involved, but also staying within the moment because at the end of the day, you have to have that next play mentality
yeah,
on to the next play, to the next, and consistency because the game's moving so fast and so many things are happening all in the realm between those lines. So
yeah,
being lost within your emotions, it doesn't help you. It takes time to learn these things, though. Don't get
for
me wrong,
sure,
it
for
takes
sure.
time. But
Right.
that's another point of what my respect that I have for my team because I'm always keeping guys level. Like, yeah, enjoy the play, enjoy the moment we have right now. But remember, that team's going to keep playing hard.
Yeah,
That team's not going to give up. That team's going to do everything they can to get back in this game. Or we got to do more to get back in this game. We got to do what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? Communication, things like that, with all within staying within the game and enjoying the game. So, bro, it's a lot
yeah,
for real,
yeah,
man. Like
for
some
real.
people think it's easy, and some people
It's
think
not.
like looking at a basketball game is simple. Bro, it's simple and complex all at the same time.
Exactly.
It really much is. Because at the end of the day, the end result, a lot of people see is somebody throws up an orange ball and it goes in the rim. It's so many things that
Yeah,
go
I'm
on
telling
with
you.
on the floor or with around the
Yeah,
game, bro. That leads to these
right,
moments.
exactly.
Like it's crazy for real. It's a beautiful
Right,
sport. It's just such a beautiful sport,
right.
man. It really is.
No, it's true, and that is something we're gonna speak on in a bit, just with regards to the unseen grind of a pro athlete. But kind of just staying on that, just with
Hmm.
regards to your early years as a pro to now. In your opinion, Jeffrey, like how has
Hmm.
your understanding of spacing, timing, decision making changed since your early years as a pro?
Well, I've played a multitude of
Hmm.
positions by being a pro. I've went through three through five. So even now, like for instance, this year I've played predominantly at the
Yeah,
five. So one thing, and I'm not like well, I'm 6'8", like I said before,
yeah,
6'9". But one thing that helps is if that you're learning the game while you're in the
here we go.
game. And one thing you do is you learn from guys in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard a teacher say, somebody asks a question and she makes an example or whatever. You can't come into the classroom the next day and ask the same question.
Mm,
I just went over this today. That means you weren't paying attention. So my biggest thing is that I'll try to pay attention to damn near everything's going on the floor. The point guards to the twos, to the threes, to fours, to fives, so that I know how to do that or I can incorporate it into my game. And it's not just about skill. Like you said, it's about scheme. It's about spacing. It's about understanding how he's going to move, understand if I can do that, things like that. So I've just learned from so many greats, man. Like playing a five now, like I kind of learned from Cal Hine, who was the
incredible
greatest,
player.
I
Yeah,
think, if not the greatest player to ever play in Europe,
yeah,
the greatest American to play in Europe because of his resume is just
yeah,
unbelievable.
for real.
But he was undersized at the five position, learning how to push a guy off the block, learning how to fake, learning how to utilize your offensive skill set as being undersized but with skill against a bigger guy, things of this nature. That's how I play the five man. I'll be thinking sometimes, okay, what would Cal do in this situation? Because I don't have the height of a traditional center of a 6'11", 7 foot, 6'10", whatever you want to call it, but I can still affect the game in my way.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? And that's just one thing. I just try to learn different things or incorporate it into my game. If I'm playing a three, how to catch it on the run and go. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Instead of catch it, try to play ISO. No, I got you beat already because you're going towards the baseline. I'm running into the paint.
Here we
Now
go.
you got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? The catch and go. So just different things like that, man. To the point where it ain't even gotta be trained. It's just that you've seen it so much, you know what I'm saying? You just have to incorporate it into what you do. So one more time, you can be an effective player.
Right.
Now, maybe not everybody can do this, but that's the way I go about it, and the way I've done it throughout my career.
Right. Right. And just even on that, like, I mean, you playing the position from three to the five and more recently playing the five, like for aspiring
Hmm.
forwards or even
Hmm.
centers, what skills are non-negotiable if they want to play at a high level, or even for them if they want to play professionally, would you say?
Negotiables now because times have changed. So uh, this is going to be funny what I'm about to say, but you have to rebound the basketball. Got to be able to rebound.
Mm, yeah.
But you can't be Dennis Rodman. And what I mean by Dennis Rodman is you can't be out there and not be a scoring threat. Everybody has to be able to score the basketball today. So you got to be able to shoot. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a consistent jump shot. And it's not about dribbles and 17 dribbles getting a shot. No, you got to be able to knock down shots when you're open. You know what I'm saying? You have to gain the respect from your teammates that you are going to be able to knock down, have respect from the other team so that you can space the floor as a 4 or 5 because most teams play 4 out, one
Yeah.
in. Hell, some now are playing
Five.
5
Yeah.
out, one
Yeah,
in. I
exactly.
mean, excuse me, 5
Yeah.
out. Like we're doing, like I'm the last 2 months, even with my team last year while I was here in USA, I'm bringing the ball up because having that skill set of a 3, but playing as a 5, this guy is not used to being out on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not everybody has this skill set, but what I'm saying is the more skill you can bring to the position offensively, the more opportunity you're going to have because a lot of teams and a lot of coaches now are looking for versatility. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have to be able to defend. I don't care where you're playing, you have to be able to defend. And the best thing you can be able to do nowadays is be able to defend not only your position, but every other position. I'm one of the best
Right.
guys in my, and it's not being arrogant, but you can ask around, like switching onto defenders. I'm one of the best guys around because I am a great one-on-one defender, and this
Right.
takes pride. If you
Right.
don't have pride, you can't play this game at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have pride in the defensive end. Coaches and teams and fans love that. You know what I'm saying? Love it. So if you're able to show these things, have a consistent jump shot, and you rebound the basketball, you'll have more than enough opportunities to play pro than you could even. Because if
Right.
you're doing all these things at high level, hell, you're gonna be beating teams off you like a stick. Yeah.
Right. Love that, man. And just even on that, like for aspiring bigs, like if you had to build like a
Hmm.
weekly skill focus for bigs, what would be the priorities, would you say?
Um, honestly, man, because now I think you're going into the training realm.
Hmm.
Um, my biggest thing as far as that is knowing who you are as a player, especially when you're young. Because when you're young, that's when you have the time to add many different things
True.
into your game because you're young and the habits can be built. See, me at 36, bro, my habits are damn near finished.
Hmm.
So, like, I know what I'm looking for. I know who I am as far as a player on the offensive end. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. So, I try to enhance and make my strengths as strong as possible and try to make my weaknesses not even seen as much, as much as I can. But I think today, bigs who can shoot provide such a different dynamic on the floor, especially if you are big and can shoot. So working on your jump shot, I think is just vital for every player. I think having two go-to post moves as a just can kick, you know what I'm saying? If it's a hook shot, if it's a fadeaway, if it's a triple deep fake and up and under, whatever quick spin baseline, whatever it is, having two go-to moves because sometimes offenses break down
Yeah.
and they throw it to you in a post. Can you get a shot off?
Right.
Can you get to a move? Especially when teams switch, because then when teams switch, the referees let the guards or smaller players get away with a lot more just because of the physicality that you
Right.
have as an advantage. So if you're able to get to two moves that you know you can get off with a blindfold on, you can get to that move and get to the rim and get a good shot is vital for bigs nowadays. That
Yeah.
word's going to come up a lot, vital. And lastly,
Yes.
short is such a big key to basketball
I
today.
love this. Yeah. Yeah.
Teaching guys, big guys, to short roll and understand not just to score. Where are the open guys on the floor? Who's rotating? That's me being, one more time, growing up as a point guard. I love to pass, always love to pass. So, like me playing as a five now, I'm like a playmaker because as soon as that ball hits me on the roll, I already
Yeah.
know where guys are coming from and I'm already looking. You know what I'm saying? So, or if they don't come, I go to score or shoot my mid
Right.
range, whatever the case may be. Having that skill, because the guy was doing it very well, and he just went to I think he went to Red Star, if I'm not mistaken. Tariq Jones used to play Partizan,
Yes. Yeah.
and I was watching some film on him in a short role, and dude, it's automatic for him. And Tariq is built like a five man, 6'10", 255 pounds. But when he comes out of that short roll, he knows exactly where the help's coming from. And then he has the athleticism as well to finish over the top on guys. He will be playing high level basketball for at least the next 10 years because that is something that is paramount in basketball. If you're trying to stop the pick and roll and you throwing it to a guy who can make the right decision 9 out of 10 times, your team is going to be in great positions throughout the entire
True.
season. So teaching guys more and more so not just the dribbling, how to get a shot. No, teaching them basketball, how to read rotations, where guys are coming from, how to pass with both hands and put the pass on target. Then, yes, finish with a floater, finish with a dunk, whatever the case may be. But teaching guys that short roll, I think is vital in basketball today.
Right.
I really do. It's 4 5s.
Yeah. I love that, man.
Because if I can't throw it to you in the short roll, if I can only throw it to you in the roll, okay, that roll has to be open, or you got to be a lob threat.
True.
But if you ain't a lob threat, and then if the roll's not open, what else can I do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then, like I said, if I can't throw it to you in the post and you can't get a shot off, or then if you can't pick and pop, at least, minimum, at least be able to play the short roll. Because at
Yeah.
least if you're a playmaker or a finisher out of the short roll, then I can work with something there. We got something there. You know what I'm saying? But if
Right.
you don't have none of the three things I just talked about, then I don't really know how far you're gonna go. I really don't as
Yeah.
a big, really
Yeah.
don't. It is just the offensive end one more time. I don't really know where you're gonna go. You're
Right.
not having the ball in your hands a lot. It ain't like you're pushing it in transition. So if you can't play this game in a half court, nobody's gonna be able to use you. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Nobody's gonna have any reason to sign you to their teams and to pay you money
Right.
playing a child's game.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And just you mentioned it earlier in the pod, and I really want to shed light on. And again, it's me, having the opportunity to have high level pros like you on. I've just really learned the unseen grind, sacrifice, long days, early mornings, late nights, sometimes being away from family,
Mhm,
friends, the unseen grind of a pro athlete. I mean, the fans just see game
mhm.
day, right? But what does the real grind of a
Yes.
professional season look like behind the scenes, would you say?
Oh, I mean, it just depends on who you are.
Hmm.
Like, me, I stay out there sometimes and shoot and everything, but I'm really big on like taking care of my body now, being the age I am. So, I go and do recovery workouts. I go and get massages. I go to my osteopath like every 2 weeks to, readjust my hips and things like that. Having my wife Benedetta now, we've been married for 10 years, but she's been
Amazing.
working on my palate for years because my nutrition, I didn't know anything about nutrition. It was fried chicken wings
Hmm.
and French fries when I was young. That's all I knew.
Right, right.
I'm saying, like taking care of my body as far as my nutrition and just enjoying enjoying this, man, enjoying the game, enjoying being in the gym. Then I have a son. We have a son, so enjoying the opportunity that he gets to be around basketball and watching me, you know what I'm saying, watching my teammates, or him seeing the hard work you're putting in. And then yeah, like some in the summers, like uh there's a couple summers where I get up at 6 a.m. and I'm in the gym
Wow.
at 6:30 shooting the basketball for 2 hours. Then I'm working out again in the garage, in my garage lifting weights for an hour. Then I go and hoop
Yeah.
at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And then I go and play ball again at 6 p.m. with younger guys. It's just a lot of different things going on just for me to be around the game. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Right.
most important thing. Whatever you're doing, it ain't got to be that you're a workout warrior, because I'm not a workout warrior where I'm going to the gym 3 times a day and going crazy and two ball handling. No, it's not
Right.
me. I'm just around the game, and then I'm around making sure that my body's in tune and making sure that my skills are, you know, honed in enough to make shots, take shots, understand where my shots are going to come from, understand how to get my shot off in a situation where 6 seconds on the clock. Can I get to my fadeaway? Can I get to my step back? Things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta just know who you are. I got a teammate, he's 24. He likes getting to the gym 3 hours before we even have
Wow.
practice. You know why? Because he has the time. You know what I'm saying? He has the time to put in for that. I don't need that now at 36. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
him at 24, yeah, I was in the gym 2 hours before, lifting, doing all that stuff. At 36, I don't need to do that. What I need to make sure is that my body is well enough to perform on Sundays and Wednesday nights. You know what I'm saying? And that's taking care of it, doing what I need to do to stay in rhythm. Uh, in practice, understanding what's going on the floor, understanding the game plan, and at the end of the day, staying confident in who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With these things, it leads me to being, an effective basketball player. And one more time, being here still 15 years in, doing what I do
Right.
and doing what I love to do.
Right. And just even just me, I mean, me just being a fan, to be honest, man, watching your game, like you've been in some pressure situations, you've been in championships and even just big moments, you know. So, I mean, having said that, in your opinion, Jeffrey, like what separates players who rise in pressure from those who shrink under pressure?
That's a good question. I think for me, I think I just try one more time. I think I said earlier, I just try to stay within the moment,
Yes. Yeah.
because what's going to happen is going to happen. The fallout is going to happen. So win, lose, draw, whatever, it's going to happen. So I just try to stay so locked into the moment on the floor, which means that I know everything I'm doing is going towards being successful. So that also sticks with preparation, knowing who I'm playing against, knowing what we're looking for, because it ain't always just about making a shot. Yeah, one of the biggest plays in basketball in a pressure filled moment people understand is, when you make a game winning basket. But a lot of people don't see the work you put in to be in the moment to make that
There
shot.
we
So that's
go.
where it come in,
Yeah.
working out, catching, shooting after practice, things like this. That's, blah, blah. The more reps you put in, the more natural it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But as far as just being on the floor in those pressure filled moments, understanding how grateful you should be to be on the floor during those pressure filled moments. Because one more
Mm,
time, not everybody gets those opportunities. So that's what I always lead with. Whenever I'm in a big game, whenever I'm in a pressure filled situation, bro, people don't get these opportunities.
facts.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's real.
People that aren't given the idea that he's a good player or he's a respected player or he knows what he's doing, they're not given these opportunities. Jeff, you're given this opportunity to be out here right now.
Right.
Do
Right.
what you do, be who you are, and do everything you can to win this basketball game, to
Right.
impact on the floor for your team. So that's what
Right.
I try to stick with. I ain't really worried about, if I miss a shot or, what I'm saying, I blew a defensive assignment, none of that. I'm just in the moment of what I'm doing, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Right.
As long as I'm doing what I need to do to be successful. If it's going to happen that way, it will. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I know in my mind and in my heart, I'm doing everything I can to win
Right.
and to be the best competitor I can be.
Right. Right. And just even on that, like, how does it feel, Jeff? Like when you get a moment out of your busy schedule to reflect, like considering where you started, where you grew up, now you're in a whole other country. You've been to a few different countries. You've played for some high level teams, met amazing
Hmm.
coaches, learned from amazing teammates. Like, how does it feel when you get that moment to reflect, Jeff, and be like, yo, like you're telling me my love for the game, this little round basketball has taken me across the world. I have an incredible family. I've got lifelong friends. Like when you take that moment to reflect, Jeff, like what moments, feelings come to mind?
For me, I think one thing that I'm trying to do more of, and I actually heard this from my teammate, Juan Toscano Anderson, about 3 months ago, because we were talking about basketball and stuff, and I never really heard it put this way. But he was like, I was just telling him about, where I come from and, my kind of like my story with basketball, my journey. And then he said to me, and I heard it from him, but I also heard it from my wife. So I don't want to act like I didn't give her any credit. What they said was, but you got to look in the mirror and give yourself credit too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Because you're the one who put in the time. You're the one who made the right choices. You're the one who made the right steps to be where you are today. Like I was asked in a newspaper the other day, like, did I have any regrets? And I'm like, okay, I mean, a regret could be that I didn't make the NBA. But then if I made the NBA, I don't think I would have met my wife. I wouldn't have
yeah,
Jordan, my son. I mean, our son. So like I'm here because I made the right choices. I made the right things happen. And just some things didn't pan out that way. But I'm still having a great life. I've had a great career, which I want to continue on for another 5, 6, 7, whatever, how many more years my body and God will give me. But you have to give yourself credit
yeah, yeah,
because you got here with everything you've done. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody would have made the choices I made. And honestly, somebody else probably made some better choices than me. So they've had better opportunities than what I've had. But at the end of the day, I am here today, standing on my 2 feet,
yes,
happy and grateful for where I am in my life. And I think if you can't do that, I think it's a tough space to be in.
yeah. Well said.
I tell people all the time, I think one of the worst things to live is in regret. And I don't live in any regret. I might, if we lost a game the night before, but I give myself the 24-hour rule. You know what I'm saying? Once it hit midnight, it's over.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the next day,
right.
looking at the next, if I'm giving the next day, I'm looking at that. But as far as my career, man, I just, I want to give myself a little bit of credit because I've been through some things and I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have gotten through them. Now,
Right.
of course, it ain't the most traumatic things in the world like some people deal with, but I've been through some stuff to get to where I'm today.
Yeah.
So, I just got to give myself a little pat on the back, but also remain, which is one of my favorite words, got to remain humble because I'm
Yes.
still going and I'm still trying to get to certain places. And I'm still trying to set an example for our son to not only walk in my footsteps as a player, but as a man. You know what I'm saying? So, and you do that by trying to put your best foot forward every day and not only understanding the example I'm setting for him, but the example I'm setting for many people that are in my space, from my teammates to my boys back home
Yeah,
to
yeah.
my younger uh, sibling, my little brother, all
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? You got to give credit where credit's
Right.
due. And sometimes I don't think as a person, we don't give ourselves enough credit.
That's real. That's real, man. And just even on that, like, how
Hmm.
do you, because this is something that I didn't really face until COVID, where not just myself, everyone was kind of taken away from what they love doing, And for me, that was basketball. And it kind of took me
Hmm.
a minute to, once the NBA season was done and leagues around the world was cancelled, I was like, okay, let me watch Jordan documentaries, let me watch a 3x3, let me watch Basketball Champions League, and it kind of took me a minute to be like, okay, let me take off the Coach D hat. What does Demetrius like to do outside of basketball? And it
Yeah.
kind of took me that to
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
realize, you know, I am, a brother. I'm a son, I'm a friend, I'm a boyfriend,
Hmm.
and things of that nature. So it's like for yourself, how do you separate the player, Jeff, high level athlete, great defender, versus Jeff,
Hmm.
the husband, the dad, the best friend, the cousin? Like how do you balance the two?
I think it comes with time. I don't think it's easy because I wasn't that
Yeah,
good at it at first. Like I used to give basketball way more importance than myself as the man. And like as I've gotten older, as I say to people all the time, like, bro, I'm a man first. I'm a basketball player second. Yes,
yeah,
it's a part of who I am, but that's not who I am. And sometimes, like even me and my wife, we, talking and get to a little rut, and like, and sometimes basketball come up, she'll be like, "That ain't just who you are," and I'm just like, at first I'm like, "Yeah, it is," but I'm like, "Nah, you actually right." You know
hmm,
what I'm saying? Because I got to remember that basis, man. It's not just that basketball just ain't it's not who I am. I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? How I, one more time, treat people when I meet them, how I articulate my words, how I like to play video games sometimes, how I'm a sneakerhead, how I love spending time with my son and my wife and run around the house and things like that. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that make me who I am. So I think with time it comes because you start to give more importance to everything other than just the sport. Because at some day for all of us,
yeah,
as far as you running up and down that court, it's going to stop for all of us. But I hope to have my family in my life for so much of my life to the point where I go before them to enjoy them, if you know what I mean. You know
yes,
what I'm saying?
absolutely, absolutely,
Because that's a blessing. I've been blessed to play basketball, don't get me wrong. And without basketball, I wouldn't have met my wife
right,
and to have the life that I have today. But that's going to stop at some point. But this, being a
yeah,
husband, being a father, like you said, being a best friend and a brother, a son, that ain't ever going to stop. So give that
right,
more importance in the game. When you have the game, that's that 2 hours in the day, 3 hours in the day where you working out or you practicing or you playing. And that's that. You know what I'm saying? But after that, you gotta kind of let that go. Cause you're gonna get back
yeah,
to that. But this
true,
never stops. And I think
right,
that's one thing people have to understand. Like this part, the man part, that's never going to stop. You're always going to be a man. You know what I'm saying? The
right,
player is going to stop at some point, but you forever going to be a man. So I try to keep that in my mind as much as possible. Even if I'm having a bad game or whatever, understand that if I'm, the blessing, I'm gonna have another opportunity. But this right here, I can't have too many bad days being a dad. Can't
right,
have too many bad days as being a husband. You know what I'm saying? I gotta one more time. I gotta put my best foot forward every day because I got to remember who I'm leading. I got to remember who I'm protecting and taking care of and who's my responsibility. Basketball ain't my responsibility. That's my talent and that's my
yes,
career. But this right here, this is my
right,
responsibility. And this is what is most important.
right.
It's important, but this is most important.
Just the final topic before we wrap up with the Beyond the Game segment, which I'm super intrigued, by the way, to get your mind on when it comes to the fourth quarter. But before we get to that, the advice for aspiring pros, or young athletes, like if a hooper aspires to play at the highest level, like what should they be prioritizing right now?
First of all, I mean, if you can't play, I mean, if you can't play, you can't play. So if you don't play this game, you know what I'm saying, you gotta put so much into the game. And what's changing, this might be a little long topic,
Go
so
for it,
just give
please.
me a little time to break it down. Cause there's a lot of stuff going on today. Especially because I'm talking to the youth.
Yes.
A lot of these young guys think that clickbait and the highlights and all that's what it's about. It's not. It's about the substance. I gotta be able to look at you and understand that I can depend on you not only one more time just to be a great player, but I got to depend on you to be a great person. So that means everything you're doing on the floor from how you carrying yourself, how you picking up your teammates, how you looking at the game, are you enjoying the game? Like it's so much it goes into this being a pro, not only just making baskets. You know what I'm saying? Does he like to make the extra pass? Did he even make an extra pass when he had a shot? Like all these little things come into play when coaches, scouts are looking at players nowadays. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now, talent is talent, don't get me wrong. But dude, I done played against some talented players who never played on the levels I played in because they didn't have the intangibles. You know what I'm saying? So like I think like a lot of kids today got to start realizing that the respect for the game, respect for your opponent, the respect for your teammates, all these things matter. It ain't just about your stats and all that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yeah, there's gonna be some kid who's gonna be the number one draft pick. We all can't be number one draft picks. So, what can you do to get the most out of basketball? And that comes with understanding how to move, understanding how to carry yourself, understanding that, one more time, basketball can't be the only thing that you are. You got to be something
Yes.
else too. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to help you bring out your best self while you're playing the game. You know what I mean? So, like for me today, man, a lot of kids are not playing enough, in my honest opinion. Like, I wish kids would meet up more and play the game more because that's how I learned. Like I said, I wasn't a training guru. I learned more about basketball from playing
Playing.
basketball. So yes, training is all good today. Don't get me wrong, but playing games, and I mean like pickup, going to the gym, going to street court, whatever the case
Yep.
may be,
Yep.
playing basketball to understand, all right, my shot ain't falling. What else can I do? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can set a back screen. Oh, well, they both went. I'm wide open for a jump
There
shot
you
now.
go. Yeah.
Learning
Yeah.
how to play basketball, not just okay, I'll catch the ball. Now I'm gonna take 25 dribbles and I'm gonna shoot. Nah, like I played with some young cats this summer, dude, and I was just dying because I'm just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm the biggest guy on the team with some of these young cats. I'm setting a pick and roll. You can't play a pick and roll, but you telling me you want to be a pro? No,
Yeah.
that's not how it works. But you can do all the dribbles and ISO, but you can't read who's helping from the corner or if the roll's open, playing the 1-2. You know what I'm saying? So I think more and more guys have to really take an in-depth look on what basketball truly is. And it ain't just about having a bag, and it ain't just about having a 46-inch vertical and all that. It's about how to play basketball at an optimal level to where I can affect winning
Yes.
and help an NBA team, EuroLeague team, an NCAA team win basketball
Right.
games. Because the more opportunities you have to show self, the more opportunities you will be giving for in the
Yes.
future. But if you can't even make it to these opportunities because you don't even have the in-depth look on
True.
basketball, where are you going? You ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So yes, talent is the base point. But after that, what is going to get you over the hump? And what gets you over the hump? How you carry yourself, your respect, your work ethic, being a good teammate, being coachable. Like all these five standpoints right here will give you opportunities to
Right.
play at the next level, which is college. And then the next level after that is pro. We all want to make it a pro, but we all ain't going to make it a pro. How
Yes.
do you get there? You got to beat out the other guys, not only with your talent, with everything else, because you're all talented. So a lot of these kids don't understand that you're all talented. Yeah, you're all talented. How do you have a better opportunity than him? Because if he's an asshole and you're not, who
That
you think
part.
gonna get the opportunity? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, moving from there though, man, I think basketball is in a good place. Don't get me wrong, because like some of the talents I'm seeing today is just,
Hmm.
man, it's beyond me. Like 6'10"
Crazy.
guards, and it's wild, man, for real. But I just don't think that basketball today is being played in the terms of basketball. Where I think a lot of young cats today think it's all about is being a one man show, being then this whole everybody's a tough
Mm-hmm.
guy all of a sudden. Everybody want to, fight and talk crap to each other and all. Nah, no, I had to tell a young guy in the game real quick about, I think it was like 3 years ago, he was talking crap. I stopped mid play. Said,
Right.
bro, I don't do that talking.
Right.
I'm a man. We can handle this right now. We can walk off the court, but you're not gonna sit up here and talk to me and call me
Right.
names. I don't
Right.
do that, bro. We playing basketball. So let's cut that out real quick. After the game, shook my hand, respect me, because we not
Right.
we not out for that, bro. We're playing basketball. Today, I'm seeing way too many tough guys. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it gets to the social media age and everybody wants to be seen and all this and all that. But I mean, I guess I can't raise everybody's kids, but the way I'm going to raise Jordan as he's older, getting older, he's 9 now, is have substance, have something people want to be around. You know what I'm saying? I think many kids are kind of moving in the wrong direction, but it's hard not to because of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
phones, man. It's hard. It's hard today, man. So I understand it, but I feel like the more and more parents can try to keep kids within the mindset of being the best player they can be, not only for themselves, but for their teams, the more opportunities they'll have.
Yeah.
And
Well
I really
said,
do.
man. Well said,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And I'm super excited to get to the fourth quarter of the segment, which is the Beyond the Game segment. Now, this first one, Jeff, this can go the basketball route or life or both.
Okay.
It's really
Okay.
whichever one resonates the most. And the first one I want to ask you, Jeff, is what would you say is a skill that is taught by many but only mastered by a few?
That's it's a skill without, I mean, it's a skill without a word. I don't have a word for it, but being loud without being
Mm,
loud. So I guess what I mean by that is, in a sense, like leadership. Like, people know you're in the room without you telling people you're in the room. You know what I mean? People follow your example, telling them to follow your example. I think how that comes into play is just always understanding that people are watching. You know what I'm saying? And for you to garnish that attention, that means something. Not everybody's getting that skill. And in a sense, I think I kind of have that skill, especially now being a father, understanding that somebody's always watching me. So, like, understanding like how to do something and have people follow that example without you even telling them to follow your example. What that means is, in my opinion, is being successful. You know what I'm saying? Doing the right steps to being successful. You know what I'm saying? So you come to the gym, you working out. You seeing the young cats leave, but you want the older cats on your team. You stay shooting. You stay working out. Damn, he should.
right.
Why he still shooting? We had a 2 hour practice. Like, how he still hurt? No, because my example is what I want myself to follow first. But if I get y'all to follow this example without even telling you, then think
Exactly.
about how good we're
Exactly.
gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So I shouldn't have to tell you. Now, at some point, I might tell you, like, hey, bro, because if you ain't shooting well, hey, bro, you need to stay in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Or running hard in drills. And why are you running so hard? He the oldest on the team. Because
Yes.
that's the
Yeah.
example. I'm saying? Like, so I think it's just a thing that, like, it all comes into your actions. I think that's what I want to say. It's like your actions speak louder than your words. So, like, understanding that people are always watching you. So, one more time, putting your best foot forward to the point where people are attracted to what you're doing and how you are and how you lead your
Right.
life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think many guys understand it because too many guys are worried about self today. I'm worried about the example because I feel like where I come from, none of
Mm,
this was
yeah.
possible. So, like, how to get here is by sharing what I've been through and what I've done and what I do to help someone else. And from my example, damn, I can do that too. And if that's one of my teammates, if that's from somebody on the street, from how I walk around, you know, yes sir, no ma'am, holding the door for a woman to walk through, all these different things. It's like, damn, he's different. Yeah, because I'm carrying myself in a way that where you're going to see what I'm doing and understand how people gravitate towards that to the point that you're
Right.
going to want to do it too. And I think from that is how you get better outcomes, not only for yourself, but for
Right.
people all around you.
Yeah.
A word for it, I guess you would call it
Yeah.
leadership. I think leadership. Yeah, I think
I like
leadership
that.
is the word.
I like
Yeah.
that. Next one. Appreciate your time, Jeff, by the way, man. Honestly, man. Next one. What is something failure taught you that success could?
No matter what you think of yourself, no matter what you think of that man in the mirror, on any given day, somebody's better. So you have to be the best you can be every single day. No matter what version that is, you have to try to be the best version of yourself every single day. See, because I think with success, you get a little lackadaisical in its human nature. Everything's fine, everything's good with success, everything's happy. The lights are beaming with success. But when you fail, it
Yeah.
feels like the world's going to end. You know what I'm saying? Did you give your best effort, though? Sometimes we fail and don't even realize we didn't even try our hardest. Sometimes we fail and we don't even realize we didn't even prepare. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like with failure, you learn more about self. You learn more about what works and what doesn't. See, when you succeed in if you succeed in all the time, you don't
Mm.
know what's bad. You just
Right.
know good.
Yeah.
This is how I'm doing it. But when you fail, that shows you what works and what doesn't, what needs to be tuned and what doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So what can be improved and what doesn't need to be. So I think for me, like failure always taught me to go back to the drawing board and understand if I was prepared, if I was in the right mindset, if I was confident, if I was ready for the moment. And then once I, overlooked everything and gave it time to think about and broke some stuff down, when I had my next opportunity, I put myself in a different space to be more successful the next time out. And I think that's what failure gives you an opportunity to do. Failure gives you an opportunity
Mm.
to review. Because when you succeed, I think a lot of us don't review. I think it's just, oh, I'm good. It's cool. We ain't got to worry about that. I'm good. Yeah, that works. It's good. Nah, with failure, you understand how to get better because with success, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're not really thinking about
True.
improving or being better. Failure teaches you to be better. You know what I'm saying? And that's in life and that's in sports or whatever. I think we all need failure because at the end of the day, without rain, nothing
Mm.
grows.
That's powerful.
You know,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, without rain, nothing grows. So we all have to have those little moments to have us grow. Like for me, a big word I love to use is evolution, evolve. I don't really like the word change because change, you're doing the complete opposite of what you were doing. No, I like evolve. I like evolution. You keeping the best things and you're enhancing others to be good as well
I
while you're
like
keeping
that.
a
Yeah.
base. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you lose, you understand some things that don't work and you're not going to change them because at the end of the day, you are who you are. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to try to add things to be better the next time or moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And I think failure makes
Yes.
us evolve. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why you need it time to time. Now, of course, I ain't trying to go
Right.
out and lose
Of course. Yeah.
championship
Yeah. Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
but I think with failure, you know what I'm saying, you get a real sense of self and a real sense of what works and what doesn't. What do I need to to improve or what could I have done better so the next opportunity I get, I'm going to be ready for that opportunity.
Final three. Best
Hmm.
piece of advice you ever received.
Best advice I've ever received. No one else is going to make a choice for you. You always have a choice, and it's up to you. That's something I got from my dad. Now I'm teaching my son is that at the end of the day, it's all comes down to choices. So like everything you want to do, everything you want in your life, every single situation in your life is a choice. Nobody can make that choice for you. You're gonna have to make it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, sports, you want to be good, and you're gonna make the choice to go and play. You're going to make the choice to go get up in the morning. You're going to make the choice to go and work out hard. You're going to make the choice to be consistent. It's all up to you. It's on nobody else. I think sometimes we try to put things on other people and, the situation, well, because this situation didn't work out. This coach doesn't like me, or my boss doesn't, or oh, this is too hard. Then why'd
Right.
you want to do it in the first place? If it's too hard, then just give up. Don't complain. Just do it. It's one thing I can say Nike
Yeah, just
was
do it.
good
Yeah.
about with that slogan. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if it's something that you wanted, just do it. Now, if it doesn't work out, hey, one more time. Failure
Yes.
teaches you things. But at the end of the day, the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that group of black sheep, they weren't wrong. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
song, the choice is
Right.
yours. It's truth. You can get with this or you can get with that. Which one is it going to be? So my dad taught me, thing comes down to choices. And it's all on you. You have to make the right choices. And you have to make the choices. I can't make them for you. Your mama can't make them for you. Nobody can make them for you. You have to make those choices and live with them and stick with them. And whatever happens, happens. There's going to be consequences, positive and negative. But understand that at the end of the day,
Right.
the choice is yours.
Powerful, man. I love this conversation, man. Honestly. Final two. This is more of a statement, and you have to fill in the blank. And the statement is, if it wasn't for basketball, I wouldn't have learned filling the blank about myself.
Um, I wouldn't have learned how to persevere without basketball. Without this game, I wouldn't have learned how not to give up, how to keep going, no matter what someone's saying, no matter what's going on in the game, no matter how bad it may feel, you just never give up. You know what I'm saying? And I think I try to look at basketball in the sense of life. You know, at the end of the day, I hate talking about it, but mortality. So at the end of the day, the buzzer's gonna go
Yeah.
off for all of us. You know what I'm saying? We all playing. So like I feel like every day that you're given, you want to be
Right.
better at something. Better person, better player, better father, better husband, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. So you never want to give up. You just want to keep going for as much as you are given the opportunity to do, because at some point, you're not going to have the opportunity to go anymore. None of us will. So what I learned from basketball is I've been in games where the Euro Cup championship, for instance, we were down 13 with 6 minutes, and I think it was like 49 seconds ago on the road. We ain't making a shot, bro. And I'm talking about guys who shooting
Right.
48 from three. We're not making shots at all. And somehow, some way, we won that game in regulation to have our Euro Cup championship
Man.
when I was in Malibu. So it's just like most people would have given up. We continue to stay grounded and we continue to play together. And each of us, each individual, because a team is made of a group of individuals, we stayed true to who we were and we did not give up. And we just kept going. And somehow, some way, man, we won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes with a little luck, blessing, whichever one you want to call it. But at the end of the day, we won that game. And I look at that a lot in life, bro. Like basketball has taught me to never give up. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop.
Right.
Don't stop. It's
True.
easy to give up. It's hard to keep going, bro.
It's
It's
real,
hard.
man. And the final one, I'm gonna set the scene for you now, Jeff. There's a player who's followed your journey from the beginning all the way to where you are now. You know, they've got all of the jerseys for the teams that you've played for, and they've just finished practice, and they're looking at their phone, and they got an alert that you've just released the book. So he's heading straight to the library to get the book, and he goes to the librarian and he says, "Where can I get the book by Jeffrey Brooks?" Librarian says, "If you go up the stairs, turn right, you go to the best-selling sports section, you can't miss it." So he's hyped. He's going up the stairs now. He grabs the book, Jeff, and he's looking at it. And the question that I want to ask you is, what would the title of your autobiography be?
Damn, you caught me off guard on that one. That's a tough one. What would the autobiography be?
Take your time, please.
I don't know. I think I would say that is a tough question. Uh, it's cliche. and it comes from a song. But I think the only title I could come up with was "It Was All a
Mm,
Dream." I never thought, bro, I was gonna be here playing pro NBA, whatever. I played in the NBA Summer League. I done played in Euro League. I done played 15 years professionally now. I played
yeah,
in the Big Ten. Bro, all of this was just talk when I was 6, 7 years old, watching U of L play,
yeah,
'cause I'm from Louisville. So just, oh, I'm gonna play in college. I'm gonna play pro. I'm gonna be in the NBA and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Bro, that's a dream. Like, you know what I'm saying? But to get to a dream, it all
yes,
comes with steps. It all comes with that C word,
yes,
choices, bro. So the only way you can make a dream become a reality is by making the right choices, by having the right people around you, by being blessed, by having some luck, all these different things. So yeah, it was all a dream.
yeah,
Only thing I could say. That's the only title I think
right,
would fit my life. Cause I really
yeah,
didn't think I would be here. I was just talking, bro. But while I was talking, I was actually walking
mm,
and didn't even know it.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
This has been an amazing experience, to be honest, Jeff, man, and I'm sure for the listeners watching, so many gems, not just how to be a better player, how to be a better person, and that's the beauty about basketball. You really learn, excuse me, you really learn life lessons, how to communicate, how to hold yourself accountable, how to handle pressure, just even just meeting lifelong friends through basketball, so the lessons that you continue to share, with yourself, your family, and the players who look up to you. I'm just truly grateful, So just appreciate your time, Jeff, man. Honestly, for those who are watching, do not worry. The link to follow him and to follow his team will be in the link of the description. But this is myself, Coach D, and the one and only man himself, that is Jeffrey.
I love, bro. Really appreciate you having me on, man. Anytime. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Wish you
Thank you,
nothing
man.
but the best, bro. Love, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir.